Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
Hold on.
The late 2000s may have heralded the arrival of a new breed of superhero movies, with the likes of Iron Man and The Dark Knight. But who could have predicted their utter pop culture domination of the last 10 years? Well, maybe Kevin Feige. Naturally, you can't talk about these momentous leaps from panel to screen without mention of the Marvel Studios mastermind who cobbled together iconic heroes into the Avengers. I mean, even that seemed like a miracle of blockbuster needle threading at the time, but it nearly pales in comparison to the biggest movie ever, Avengers Endgame.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Next to Marvel was DC Comics and their DC Extended Universe, which started with Man of Steel and still continues till this day. But the X-Men franchise finally sputtered to its end, but not before reaching top forms with Days of Future Past and the Oscar-nominated Logan.
If you allow yourself to feel it, embrace it, it will make you more powerful than you ever imagined.
Whatever the style or budget, it is time to face forward into the best superhero movies of the 2010s. Number 10, Marvel's The Avengers. When Thor's evil brother Loki gains access to the unlimited power of the energy cube called the Tesseract, Nick Fury initiates a superhero recruitment effort to defeat the unprecedented threat to Earth. Joining Fury's dream team are Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. Starring Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, and directed by Joss Whedon. Critics say, thanks to a script that emphasizes its hero's humanity and a wealth of superpowered set pieces, The Avengers lives up to its hype and raises the bar for Marvel at the movies.
Stark, got a lot of stray sniffing your tail.
Just trying to keep him off the streets.
Well, they can't bank worth a damn. Find a tight corner.
I will roger that. Nice call. What else you got?
Number 9, Guardians of the Galaxy. Brash space adventurer Peter Quill finds himself the quarry of relentless bounty hunters after he steals an orb coveted by Ronan, a powerful villain. To evade Ronan, Quill is forced into an uneasy truce with 4 disparate misfits: Rocket Raccoon, Groot, Gamora, and Drax the Destroyer. But when he discovers that the orb's true power and the cosmic threat it poses, Quill must rally his ragtag group to save the universe. Starring Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Dave Bautista, and directed by James Gunn. Critics say Guardians of the Galaxy is just as irreverent as fans of the frequently zany Marvel comic would expect, as well as funny, thrilling, full of heart, and packed with visual splendor.
Trapped! I can't make it to the Milano. I have to head out.
Wait, these things aren't meant to go out there.
You are a disappointment, sister. Out of all our siblings, I hated you least.
Nebula, please. If Ronan gets this stone, he'll kill us all.
Not all. You will already be dead.
Number 8, Spider-Man Homecoming. Thrilled by his experience with the Avengers, young Peter Parker returns home to live with his Aunt May. Under the watchful eye of mentor Tony Stark, Parker starts to embrace his newfound identity as Spider-Man. He also tries to return to his normal daily routine, distracted by thoughts of proving himself to be more than just a friendly neighborhood superhero. Peter must soon put his powers to the test when the evil Vulture emerges to threaten everything that he holds dear. Starring Tom Holland, Michael Keaton, Robert Downey Jr., and directed by John Watts. Critics say Spider-Man Homecoming does whatever a second reboot can, delivering a colorful, fun adventure that fits snugly in the sprawling MCU without getting bogged down in franchise building.
He gave you a choice. You chose wrong.
Oh, what the hell?
What's with the crappy costume?
No web shooters.
I wasn't sure about this thing at first, but damn.
Oh, gross. Why did he send you here?
Guess you'll never know.
Nice shot!
Number 7, Incredibles 2. Telecommunications guru Winston Dever enlists Elastigirl to fight crime and make the public fall in love with superheroes once again. That leaves Mr. Incredible with one of his greatest challenges ever, staying home and taking care of 3 rambunctious children. As Violet, Dash, and Jack offer him a new set of headaches, a cyber criminal named Screenslaver launches his dastardly plan, hypnotizing the world through computer screens. Starring Craig T. Nelson, Holly Hunter, Sarah Vowell, and directed by Brad Bird. Critics say Incredibles 2 reunites Pixar's family crime-fighting team for a long-awaited follow-up that may not quite live up to the original, but comes close enough to earn its name. Number 6, Thor Ragnarok. Imprisoned on the other side of the universe, the mighty Thor finds himself in a deadly gladiatorial contest that pits him against the Hulk, his former ally, and fellow Avenger. Thor's quest for survival leads him in a race against time to prevent the all-powerful Hela from destroying his homeworld and the Asgardian civilization. Starring Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Cate Blanchett, and directed by Taika Waititi. Critics say exciting, funny, and above all fun, Thor Ragnarok is a colorful cosmic adventure that sets a new standard for its franchise and the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We're fulfilling the prophecy.
I hate this prophecy.
So do I, but we have no choice. Surtur destroys Asgard, he destroys Hela so that our people may live. But we need to let him finish the job, otherwise... No. Don't stop, you moron! Hulk, stop! Just for once in your life, don't smash!
Big monster!
Let's go!
Fine.
5, Wonder Woman. Before she was Wonder Woman, she was Diana, Princess of the Amazons, trained to be an unconquerable warrior. Raised on a sheltered island paradise, Diana meets an American pilot who tells her about the massive conflict that's raging in the outside world. Convinced that she can stop the threat, Diana leaves her home for the first time. Fighting alongside men in a war to end all wars, she finally discovers her full powers and true destiny. Starring Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Connie Nielsen, and directed by Patty Jenkins. Critics say thrilling, earnest, and buoyed by Gal Gadot's charismatic performance, Wonder Woman succeeds in spectacular fashion. Number 4, Logan. In the near future, a weary Logan cares for an ailing Professor X at a remote outpost on the Mexican border. His plan to hide from the outside world gets upended when he meets a young mutant who is very much like him. Logan must now protect the girl and battle the dark forces that want to capture her. Starring Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Daphne Keane, and directed by James Mangold. Critics say Hugh Jackman makes the most of his final outing as Wolverine, with a gritty, nuanced performance in a violent but surprisingly thoughtful superhero action film that defies genre conventions.
Evening, Mr. Monson. You understand you're trespassing right now, right?
I have an easement with the previous owner of your property.
Previous being the operative word. Who's this?
Just a guy telling you to get back in your nice truck. Go play okey dickhead somewhere else.
Hey, Carl. Looks like Mr. Monson hired some muscle.
Looks that way.
He's a friend of mine.
Friend with a big mouth.
I hear that a lot.
And you probably hear this too.
More than I'd like.
And you know the drill. I'm gonna count to 3, and you're gonna start walking away.
I got rights to this one.
1.
I have a lawyer now.
2.
3.
You all right, boss?
You know the drill. Get the hell out of here.
Number 3, Avengers Endgame. Adrift in space with no food or water, Tony Stark sends a message to Pepper Potts as his oxygen supply starts to dwindle. Meanwhile, the remaining Avengers must figure out a way to bring back their vanquished allies for an epic showdown with Thanos, the evil demigod who decimated the planet and the universe. Starring Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, and directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. Critics say exciting, entertaining, and emotionally impactful. Avengers Endgame does whatever it takes to deliver a satisfying finale to Marvel's epic Infinity Saga.
Five years ago, we lost. All of us. We lost friends. We lost family. We lost a part of ourselves. Today we have a chance to take it all back. You know your teams, you know your missions. Get the stones, get them back. 1 round trip each, no mistakes, no do-overs. Most of us are going somewhere we know. That doesn't mean we should know what to expect. Be careful. Look out for each other. This is the fight of our lives, and we're gonna win. Whatever it takes. Good luck.
He's pretty good at that.
Right?
Number 2, Black Panther. after the death of his father, T'Challa returns home to the African nation of Wakanda to take his rightful place as king. When a powerful enemy suddenly reappears, T'Challa's mettle as king and as Black Panther gets tested when he's drawn into a conflict that puts the fate of Wakanda and the entire world at risk. Faced with the treachery and danger, the young king must rally his allies and release the full power of Black Panther to defeat his foes and secure the safety of his people. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, and directed by Ryan Coogler. Critics say Black Panther elevates superhero cinema to thrilling new heights while telling one of MCU's most absorbing stories and introducing some of its most fully realized characters.
This is it for you, cousin.
Hell of a move.
And before we reveal number one, here are some honorable mentions. Shazam. We all have a superhero inside of us. It just takes a bit of magic to bring it out. In 14-year-old Billy Batson's case, all he needs to do is shout out one word to transform into the adult superhero Shazam. Still a kid at heart, Shazam revels in the new version of himself by doing what any other teen would do, have fun while testing out his newfound powers. But he'll need to master them quickly before the evil Dr. Thaddeus Sivana can get his hands on Shazam's magical abilities. Starring Zachary Levi, Mark Strong, Astro Angel, and directed by David F. Sandberg. Critics say an effortlessly entertaining blend of humor and heart, Shazam is a superhero movie that never forgets the genre's real power. Joyous wish fulfillment.
Say my name.
Billy! No, not my name. No, say the name that I say to turn into this guy.
Shazam!
Guys? What's happening?
I can fly!
X-Men Days of Future Past. Convinced that mutants pose a threat to humanity, Dr. Bolivar Trask develops the Sentinels, enormous robotic weapons that can detect a mutant gene and zero in on that person. In the 21st century, the Sentinels have evolved into highly efficient killing machines. With mutants now facing extinction, Wolverine volunteers to go back in time and rally the X-Men of the past to help change a pivotal moment in history and thereby save their future. Starring Hugh Jackman, James McAvoy, Jennifer Lawrence, and directed by Bryan Singer. Critics say X-Men Days of Future Past combines the best elements of the series to produce a satisfyingly fast-paced outing that ranks among the franchise's finest installments.
I'm going to keep you safe. I'm going to keep you out of their hands.
Eric?
Eric, what are you doing?
Securing our future. Forgive me, Mystique. As long as you're out there, we'll never be safe.
Eric?
Use your power, Charles. Stop him.
You can't.
before we get to number 1, here is another honorable mention. The Dark Knight Rises. It has been 8 years since Batman, in collusion with Commissioner Gordon, vanished into the night. Assuming responsibility for the death of Harvey Dent, Batman sacrificed everything for what he and Gordon hoped would be the greater good. However, the arrival of a cunning cat burglar and a merciless terrorist named Bane forced Batman out of exile and into a battle he may not be able to win. Starring Christian Bale, Anne Hathaway, Tom Hardy, and directed by Christopher Nolan. Critics say The Dark Knight Rises is an ambitious, thoughtful, and potent action film that concludes Christopher Nolan's franchise in spectacular fashion.
I'm here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny. You fight like a younger man. There's nothing held back. It's admirable, but mistaken. You think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
Finally, number 1, Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. Bitten by a radioactive spider in the subway, Brooklyn teenager Miles Morales suddenly develops mysterious powers that transform him into the one and only Spider-Man. When he meets Peter Parker, he soon realizes that there are many others who share his special high-flying talents. Miles must now use his newfound skills to battle the evil Kingpin, hulking madman who can open portals to other universes and pull different versions of Spider-Man into our world. Starring Shameik Moore, Jake Johnson, Haley Steinfeld, and directed by Bob Persichetti, Peter Ramsey, and Rodney Rothman. Critics say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse matches bold storytelling with striking animation for a purely enjoyable adventure with heart, humor, and plenty of superhero action.
Your turn. Yeah. Right.
You're not going anywhere!
I'll hold them off. You shut this down.
Peter, that wasn't the deal!
Push the green button! Do not wait for me! What are you doing?
Peter, you gotta go home!
This guy could kill you! I can't let Spider-Man die!
Neither can I.
It's okay.
Yeah, it is okay. You gotta go home, man.
How do I know I'm not gonna mess it up again?
And you won't.
Right. Hate to leap of faith.
Not bad, kid.
Well, friends, that about does it for us. Be sure to stay tuned to the Rotten Tomatoes channel for more of the entertainment content you love. Until next time, I'm your host, Naz Perez, and we'll see you back here for more Top 10s on the Rotten Tomatoes Countdown.